Hello everyone, good evening on this soggy, wet, stormy Sunday evening here in New York. Let's talk about a once mighty proud car company, Jeep, who has really fallen on hard times. I just saw a Jeep Wrangler, four-door Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Or maybe it was a sport model. That has been slashed by over $23,000. It is not sure if it's a 2023 model or 2024 model, stick shift, only 8,000 miles. We're seeing insane rebates on the Jeep Gladiator. 20% from your manufacturer doesn't include other dealer incentives to get rid of these things. Now, years ago, I mean, not even too far ago, but just about 3 years ago, for my entire life, up to 3 years ago, you never saw an incentive on a Jeep Wrangler. To borrow a line from Honda, which I be joined right now, it was the car that sold itself. It didn't need much advertising. In fact, when I bought my second Jeep back in 2001, I got a $500 rebate on it, and that was rare. It was only $500. But thanks to the Europeans, I can't say all the Europeans, Daimler Chrysler wasn't so bad. But Fiat Chrysler and now Stellantis, the Europeans should really stay out of making decisions on what American consumers like. Because they're trying to change Jeep into a Land Rover type deal. Land Rover, the old Land Rover, used to be a very rugged vehicle, but they become luxurious, and now they're expensive junk. And now Jeep is starting to follow suit. I mean, when you sell a Grand Wagoneer for over $100,000, I'm sorry, you've lost base with your customer, with your mainstream hardline customer base with Jeep. They brought back the Cherokee. That didn't last too long. The Jeep Renegade was a Fiat 500 with a Jeep badge. That was a disaster. We're now seeing steep discounts on the Grand Cherokee, which was a staple mark since the early 90s. And now the Wrangler and Gladiator need help. To the point where there is talk about discontinuing the Jeep Gladiator. So for all those years, the Jeep fan base wanted a Jeep pickup truck. They finally give us one, and now it may be discontinued. And what's the reason? One, the Europeans don't understand the American car buyer. And two, with the Jeep, they got real lazy and they got greedy. They sold a whole bunch when the Gladiator first came out over the MSRP. This came out in 2019 as a 2020 model, and now it's the year 2025, and the truck has remained the same. They've not done a redesign. They haven't. And they try to tell you what 2025 was a redesign. Yeah, where? I wouldn't even call it a refresh or a mid-fresh. When the Jeep first came out, you had a choice between the Pentastar V6, which is what I have, or the Echo Diesel 3.0, which I love, but mechanically it was a disaster. too many problems with the first generation. Second generation approved, still wasn't good. Third generation was okay at best, but by then they just got rid of it. It's a shame because that engine had potential in that vehicle, as well as the Wrangler. So now you're only down to one choice in the Gladiator, the V6. And the Jeep Wrangler, the two 4-door versions, you got a choice between the Pentastar V6, the twin-turbo Hurricane 4-cylinder engine, or the Wrangler 4xe, which is an expensive hybrid system. That's crap. Don't get me wrong, they had problems on the Fiat, they had some problems on the Daimler, but now the mechanical problems of these cars are so bad that the Jeep Wrangler 2 and 4-door and Gladiator are no longer in the top 10 for resale value, which has been unheard of my entire life. Don't get me wrong, they're still expensive. They still command a good resale, but it's not the rock solid it once was. And that has become because, one, they priced everyone out of the market. This was a blue-collar person type of vehicle, and an outdoorsman, an adventurist. One designed to have leather seats, power everything, and be a luxury version with a outdoorsman-like fashion. But this is where they are now. God, I'm hoping one day Toyota will take over them. I'm hoping maybe the government relations get less lax under this current administration, that they bring back the inline 4.0 6-cylinder engine. As of this year, you can't even get a Jeep Gladiator like the way I got it, with a manual transmission no more, or no power windows, locks, and mirrors. This was supposed to be the affordable, baseline, rugged, utilitarian part of the AMC Chrysler line, and it's become no different than anyone else. With the 2 and 4-door Wrangler, you still get the manual transmission. In fact, the only way you get the Pentastar V6, which is the only reliable known engine that's worked, if you want that, you have to buy a manual transmission. You can't even buy an automatic with that transmission. They try to push you to the twin-turbo 4-cylinder or the hybrid system, which is crap. I mean, as far as forcing you to buy something like that, and it's garbage. The Jeep brand is nothing that I recognize anymore. I'm telling you, I'm glad I bought my Gladiator when I did. Because I can tell you right now, if I were to buy a 2020, if I had a chance to buy a 2025 Gladiator today, I'm not doing it. I can't get a manual transmission. I need these power accessories I don't want. Deal breaker. Now I'm gonna go buy a Tacoma because it comes with a manual transmission. Alright, this is what you do with your base. You push them to someone else. Congratulations, mission accomplished, idiots. And even if I had to buy a Wrangler, I could get the manual transmission with the engine I want. The problem is, I am now required to have power windows, locks, and mirrors on it. And I'm required to have an infotainment system. Listen, I will let the infotainment system go. I have no problem with infotainment systems. It just doesn't feel right on a Jeep line product. It doesn't. At least up with the Wranglers and the Gladiator. It doesn't. It just doesn't feel right. But the power windows, locks, and mirrors, killer. So if I ever buy another Jeep product in the future, I want to get it the way I want, it's going to be nothing newer than 2022. And if I really want one infotainment system, then I'm going no younger than 2024 now. Comments down below, what's your opinion, like to know. Let's hope things get better with the new CEO of Jeep. Let's hope that the Trump administration ends some of these ridiculous EPA regulations on these manufacturers, because we're getting crap that we don't want, that we're forced to have because the manufacturers got to keep the government happy. God bless you all. Happy driving. We'll talk to you later.